To one, to tie in the Boston community, to tie in, for someone like Jaylen to be able to talk about the dreams, goals, and expectations that he has off the court more than on the court just says a lot about him and says a lot about the opportunity that we have. And just grateful to be a part of that, to be a part of that change, to be a part of that growth. And it was a great day.
What does it make it easier as a coach to start thinking long term about how you build, how you shape your offense, defense, stuff like that when you know guys are going to be here?
I didn't really think about that, but I do know we're glad to have him for a long time, so I'm grateful for that.
What's the key to making it work on the court with Jaylen, Jason, and Kristaps?
Yeah, I think regardless, you obviously are going to do some different things to adhere to your roster on both ends of the floor, but at the end of the day, the principles remain the same. Our ability to defend at a high level and our ability to execute on the offensive end. And just continue to work into the well-balanced team that we were last year, but at the same time find small ways to reinvent.
One thing he said was that he didn't want you guys to lose your defensive identity without Marcus. How have you kind of thought about that as you're preparing for the season? How do you need to address that after losing Marcus?
Yeah, I think it's just a daily commitment. You just have to commit to it daily. You have to talk about it. But at the same time, we've had multiple systems. This team and this organization has always been built on defense. And so a few years ago, we played double big. There was a bunch of maintaining, and there was a physical way to play. And when Ime came, and last year we were able to do some switching. And so I think we have an opportunity to kind of blend both of them to where we do maintain our system and do some of the things that we did really well for the majority of the season. And then just kind of reinvent and find small ways, on ways that adhere to our roster. We'll be playing a little bit more double big probably, and so with that we can do some different stuff.
Joe, you have a full season to prepare as head coach for this team. Last year you were throwing. What's your offseason going to be like and preparation going to be like? You're comfort level knowing that you're going to
Yeah, it's definitely any time. Regardless if you got thrown into it or if you have it after a season, you always want to figure out what you did well, where you can get better, and obviously with some small roster changes, there'll be some things that we have an opportunity to do things a little bit different. So it's just a matter of taking a step back, figuring out what went really well, figuring out what we can do better, and then how we go about just doing that.
Brad spoke about the growth of Jaylen and how he always focuses on that process. How have you seen him evolve since you got to this team, and in what ways do you want him to continue to evolve?
Yeah, listen, there's no harder person than he is on himself. And he's very aware of, and he puts the expectation on himself, which is great. It makes it easy to coach him, makes it easy to work with him. And then he's just always open. He's very open-minded. He never misses a day, and he does a great job of just having a routine and bringing it every single day, whether it's in the film room or on the court. And so you don't have to tell a guy like that anything except work with him, be next to him, support him, and he'll just get better and better.
On the defense, how different do you think it'll look this year? Have you started to think about the system, the personnel you have, and what best suits them? Now that you have that full summer to kind of formulate your defensive system.
Yeah, I don't think it'll change too much from last year. I thought we were the second best defense, and so we did some good things for most of the season. We obviously were a little inconsistent at times, so we have to work on that. But I think we got to find small ways to just kind of reinvent ourselves, to be a little bit different. We'll be able to do that kind of with our roster. And I think we'll have the ability with the current team to play both big and small and bounce back from that. And we'll just do whatever fits our roster, whatever makes the most sense on both ends of the floor. But we have some versatility, and we're able to go to that. And I'm kind of looking forward to playing with that versatility.
What kind of expertise do some of the new assistants bring in that side of the ball?
Just experience. You can never have too much experience. You can never have perspective. We have a couple guys that have been in different programs that have coached high-level players, high-level defense, been on high-level teams, and so just to get that experience and get that perspective, I think is it's great to have.
Joe, who is going to be your starting point guard?
We haven't gotten that far yet. It's only what, July?
You can tell me like who's going to start. Two forwards, but
Derrick will be our starting point guard, and he'll be one of our starting guards. Like I said, we have the ability to play different ways. We have the ability to play small. We have the ability to play big. And so with some of the changes that we made, it opens up a lot of opportunities for Derrick, Peyton, and Malcolm. And so, I think that's really important, is that those three feel like we have an opportunity to grow them. We have an opportunity to help them on both ends of the floor. And, those three guys at the guard spot is a part of our identity and a part of where we need to get to on offense and defense.
Have you had discussions with Malcolm in terms of him being almost traded and now having a big role coming back? And one of those conversations.
We've had, the organization's had a few conversations. I think anytime you're in a situation like that and you're in a relationship, you just have to take small steps into it. There's a healing process, there's a listening process, and there's a process towards seeing where we're at and where we have to get to. And so we've had some conversations as an organization, but at the same time, we understand the situation that it was. And, as the healing process goes on, we'll continue to just move forward, as well as we can.
You said you're healthy for the start of camp. Malcolm is not progressing well health-wise.
As far as I know, he is, yeah. As far as I know.
Can we still ask you about Grant since he's left? What do you think about the new opportunity for him? And so what do you appreciate his contributions to the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a guy and you have someone that's been with you for 3 or 4 years, I think the number one goal is to leave it better than you found it. And I thought Grant did a great job of that. And I'm excited for him to have an opportunity, in Dallas, doing what he does best, and wish him nothing but the best. And I appreciate also what he said. Him and I. It's funny. Floating into this role of being the head coach, there were a lot of relationships that I had as an assistant coach, and he was a guy that I was able to get really close with over my 3 years here, along with a few others, and so just grateful to who he is as a person, and excited for him as a player.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.